Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one chief rocker, Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezie. And y'all know what time it is. It's time for the big Boss Man Roundtable. But the Knicks have breaking news. There's breaking news in Knicks Universe. There's been a trade. But instead of me breaking down the particulars and the motivations and the future, short-term gain, all of that, and try to talk about this Indiana Pacers game that has Evan Fournier out here looking like Reggie Bullock, I'm going to bring in the big boss man himself. What's your 1914? The smartest man on social media. Bam. What's good,
So,
boss?
what's good, brother? Self-proclaimed smartest man.
Hey,
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Leon Rose has a pulse, y'all. He has a pulse. The Knicks have finally made a move. This move may upset some people. Myself, I consider myself a resident Emmanuel Quickly stan, but sometimes things have to be done in order to move the team forward here. So, just on the surface, before we dive too deep, I feel good about the move that they made today, and I think it'll show. I think it'll show in the near future.
okay. Okay. I'm watching Julius Randle guard Obi Toppin, bro.
That's interesting because I mean, it's when they were saying, "Oh, that's like a big brother," I'm like, nah, like that's sombrero cap, man. Like y'all competing for the same job, bro. Like that. I'm not saying that there was hostility between the two players, but nah, bro, y'all competing for the same job. So we know the truth behind that, man. It's competition
Right.
between Randall and Obi, and I think both players will take this game personally to a degree because you had some fans saying, "Look, Obi's trash. He ain't got no business being here. He shouldn't have been the pick." And you got other fans saying that they need to trade Randall and give Obi a shot. So yeah, this game has motivation for both players, man. So it's always going to be interesting to watch them play going forward.
Right. Bro, wow. It's a lot going on tonight, bro. It's a lot going on
Benedict
tonight.
Mathurin, Benedict Mathurin is a stud,
He's a
man.
monster, bro.
I forgot they got Bruce Brown on the Pacers. I forgot about that. But I'm gonna say
Yeah.
this, man. In terms of the deal, right? When we talk about the specifics of this deal, the Knicks trade Emmanuel Quickly, who's expiring, who they truly probably didn't want to pay, um, or at least not pay what he was worth. Um, they sent R.J. Barrett, who, just to be flat out real, has regressed. He has just straight up regressed, and I don't understand it. And then they sent, a Detroit second round pick, and they got OG Anunoby. That's the headline of the trade. But they also got Preston Chua and they got Malachi Flynn. Those are two solid rotation pieces. So it wasn't just, the three pieces for OG. I think that the fact they were able to do this and not touch their first round picks and then not have to include, Fournier in any way, that tells you that I will be honest. I think DeJounte Murray is on the way. I truly believe it. I truly believe he's on the way because he can't be traded until January the 5th. I think that if he could have a do-over, he probably would have told the Spurs, "Get me to New York." So we have reached that point where players do want to come here, and those are the kind of players that you want. Just like he took a chance on Randall and Brunson, those 25, 26-year-old guys that are right there. You see they flash like, okay, they're a good player, but they flash like they can be a great player sometimes. Those are the type of dudes you want to go after. So do I think it's another level for OG? Yes, I do. Do I think it's another level for Murray? Absolutely. So if you target those players and they break out of New York like our guys have, brother, this could be a problem.
Right. Look at Obi's defense on Randall. Okay.
It's
Okay.
personal. It's personal. This
Yeah.
game is personal, man. and it's personal between Halliburton and Brunson too, because Brunson is like, look, man, like you took my All-Star spot last year, and Halliburton's like, dude, I'm out here to show you that it wasn't no fluke. But
Right.
you know, I have my reservations because personally, I wanted the Knicks to take Halliburton. His numbers are crazy.
Really? Okay. 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 Okay.
Yes, those are 3-point game.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
man. It's with storylines abound. This is basically the type of action the Knicks fans like, right? A revenge game against a former player, a dynamic trade, all happen in the same day. For Knicks fans, this is basically heaven right here for them, right? Shout out to the chat, everybody watching, right? Right. Shout out to everybody that's watching. But boss man, here's the thing. Here's the thing I want to ask you about. um, Short term. What are the Knicks? What are the Knicks are going to be in the short term after this
I
trade?
think I say after this trade, I think that they're better equipped to beat the teams that have those superstar players. Um, as far as defense, OG Anunoby's not just a good defender. He's not just a great defender. Dude is a special defender because he's 6'8", 230. You know what I'm saying? And he's got good feet, strong hands. The quick guys can't get around him. The,
Right.
the strong guys struggle to go through him. I'm gonna be honest. The only person I've seen absolutely work him these last couple of years has been Randall.
It's
That's it.
Randall.
Julius Randle is the only person I've seen go at him consistently and give him buckets. Like,
Right.
but that's because Randall's a specimen. Kind of like him, LeBron, and I can't think of. I mean, they're the only two guys really that 6'8", 6'9", 250 range that are just explosive and powerful. So Randall gives him problems, but everybody else not really. Because I saw when they played Minnesota, he held Ant-Man to 1 for 9 shooting,
Yeah.
like lock up. So I think it better equips him to beat a Boston, to beat a Philadelphia, to beat a Milwaukee, because you now have a guy that instead of just surviving, you have a guy that can literally go out there against a superstar player and hold his own. And
Right.
then to top that off, he's gonna make the right play, he's gonna finish, and he's gonna hit the open shot. Like you can't just leave him wide open. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to be too many nights where he's wide open. He a 0 for 6 from 3, or he's a 1 for 5 from 3. That's going to be rare. If you leave him open, he going to knock it down for the most part. So I think this kind of forces Dante to kind of step up, like for good. Unless they, get a Murray, we're depending on Dante to step up and be consistent, which he hasn't been through his NBA career. But I think this makes us a more mature team. A better defensive team, because I'm not sleeping on Malachi Flynn either. Dude he's a 3-and-D point guard for sure.
Right.
Dude can defend.
Right.
So, Precious, it's kind of hit or miss, but he has the athleticism to be a great defender. I don't know if he has the consistency, but they got some pieces to work with. So I think that the Knicks get better as far as the direction they want to go in, but also the Raptors get better as far as the direction they want to go in, because they're really kind of in between that tear down mode. So,
Right.
I mean, it's a good trade for RJ, because I think even the biggest RJ fans in the world kind of got tired of him. Like what's going on, man? Like,
Right.
it's not supposed to be like this. Like, it's one thing to have a good game, great game, bad game, good game, good game. But with RJ, it's like good game, great game, great game, bad game, trash game, bad game, trash game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it's peaks, then it's valleys, and it's peaks, and then it's valleys and valleys and valleys. And even the biggest RJ fans got tired of that. Like, man, look, like I can't defend you no more. It might be time to trade you. So I think it's better for both teams, because the Raptors can go towards their kind of tear down mode. They're getting something for a player that was not going to re-sign with them. Like he was
Right.
done.
Right.
And
Right.
the Knicks, they got something for a player that just didn't pan out like they thought, and a guy they weren't going to re-sign for $100 million. So I think both teams improved.
Right. And if you're Toronto, you trade for RJ and quickly because for one, no free agents are going to sign with the Toronto Raptors. Not meaningful free agents, right? And now by acquiring RJ Barrett, and listen, and I'm going to say this and it's going to sound OD, right? But I think RJ Barrett is a more beloved Raptor right now without even putting a jersey on than Tracy McGrady, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And
They love
RJ,
him.
yeah, RJ
Yeah.
Barrett is a more beloved Raptor right now before putting his jersey on than Marcus Camby. And they
Yeah,
drafted Camby,
they're going to love him.
right? Right. RJ Barrett is such a beloved NBA player in Toronto right now, and he was beloved in New York also. But Toronto, I think the Knicks did RJ Barrett a solid, bro.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
they could have traded him
They could
to
have sent him to
Portland.
Atlanta.
Yeah, they could have sent him to Atlanta.
And if he went to Atlanta, he would have never saw that basketball.
Yeah,
He
right,
would have never
right,
saw the ball.
right. They could have. What I think they did RJ Barrett a favor in a sense that RJ Barrett was the face of the franchise type of player, right? But they just had to move in a different direction. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing that baffles me, or will baffle me. If Leon Rose and that front office doesn't come out and say anything about RJ's tenure here, I'm gonna be on their neck, bro. Right? Because
But they
there's
had a
one
little
thing.
press release. I can't find it, but
Nah,
Leon
nah,
Rose
it's
did a
nah,
press release, but
nah,
it wasn't nothing
nah.
major.
But that ain't what I'm talking about, bro. Everybody do it. A press release is the bare minimum for everybody, right? But RJ Barrett legit was on the transition from when his team won 17 games and helped bring this team out of the. Now, was he a perfect player? Nah. No, and y'all pardon me as I collect my thoughts. I'm watching the game and also chopping it up with my brother at the same time. But yeah, man, if they don't come out and say anything, bro, if they don't come out and say anything, man, it's gonna be the most major level of disrespect you ever saw. Right? Look at Randall. Randall saucing up and Randall for three. Oh, it's short. Okay. Randall got handles, bro.
Yeah, he been working on it, man. And I think the summer that he worked, I think that was the summer of 2021, where he was working. No, it's the summer of 2020, I'm sure. Where he got in the gym with Melo for a couple weeks, and that's when Randall hit that next level. See,
Yeah.
people got to understand, Julius Randall is a worker.
Yeah.
His vet was Kobe Bryant. When they go on the road, Julius Randle's always finding a high school gym to get a shoot around, the night before the game. Like, the dude is a worker, man. And I think that the thumbs down situation, I don't understand why people really took that to heart like that. For some reason, ever since he signed and he wasn't KD or Kyrie, people have been looking for a reason to kind of hate the dude. But I mean, I'm different and I'm indifferent at the same time. Like, I don't understand it. Like, since he came to New York, he been a top two player on the roster since he came. And the whole time he been the ire of a lot of frustrations. And I'm like, dude, like, what about the dudes that's on the team that ain't doing nothing?
Right.
What about the trash players on the team? Like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But yeah, he got handles, man, and I think him playing down here more and operating out of the post finally, man, it's done wonders for this team.
Right.
Wonders for this team.
Right. Right. The, So the trade of RJ, does this mean that this is officially Jalen Brunson's team?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you this. It was a comment made last night, and it was in a Twitter space. And the guy said, in the game in Orlando, he was sitting right behind Cooper Flagg's mom, right? And he said he asked his mom, if she would want her son to play for the Knicks.
Right.
And she said, well, no, I wouldn't, because I don't really know what direction the team is going in. And this is hearsay. The guy had pictures of him, but I don't know if this conversation actually took place. This is just
Okay.
hearsay.
Okay.
He said his mom was like, I don't know. And she was like, she said Cooper had a shoot around with RJ and Monteverde the night before the game. And RJ was saying how, the fans are kind of getting on him now. It's kind of getting to him. And there's a little pressure. He just don't know what's going to happen from here.
Right.
So that right there told me that RJ knew that things were kind of slipping. But I'm going to tell you, when the Knicks decided to trade and sign the Nova guys, that's when I knew, okay, it ain't Randall's team no more.
Right.
And they took RJ's teammate and Cam Reddish and they sent him on an exodus to Portland.
Right.
And they brought Jalen's teammates in and they paid him. They paid him. Like nobody else is gonna get those dudes that level of contract. They paid them. Even Diacono got a contract. Archie Diacono got a deal. So yeah, it's insane.
Diacono is not an NBA player.
Hey, he got a job with the Knicks.
He is not an NBA.
He got a job.
He is a worse player than the Thanasis Antetokounmpo. I would rather have the Thanasis Antetokounmpo right now than Ryan Arcidiacono. Right, but it goes to show you don't have to be talented to be in the NBA. You just have to have a fit.
And you gotta have connections too, because I mean this the second time that he got a job with the Knicks. Well, I think it's
he was the first Nova boy.
Yeah, he was.
Remember, I joked that he came and scouted out the landscape.
Yeah, but that matters though. Those relationships matter, man. Like I do think it's Jalen Brunson's team, but I will say this: the Knicks have to make some noise. I think it's all going to come down to matchups in the playoffs, man. Because if it ended today and we finish in that 7th seed, we'd be playing Philadelphia. I don't know how I feel about that, especially without Robinson.
I would say just get to the playoffs, man. Just as long as they get to the playoffs, I'm okay at this point. But I want to touch on something that you mentioned, and I'm gonna try to clip that part that you mentioned about Cooper Flagg's mom. And so if outsiders, if people on the outside looking in, don't know what the direction of the team is, that's a very bad thing. To me, that's a very, very bad thing.
Well, it's hearsay, but that's what she said. She didn't know what direction the team was going in, and she didn't want her son to have to try and show they're saving the franchise. That's what was said. How true it is, bro, I don't know, but that is what the man said. That's what he said. So,
but the thing about that though, too, is whether he wants to be that or not. When you're the number one pick, that's always your job.
Right.
You're not.
You can't run from that.
Yeah. When you're the number one pick, that's what you're brought in to do. It's part of it. You can't expect to get a bigger contract than all other rookies and not have more responsibility than all other rookies. Right? It's just part of it. Salute to the chat, man. I see y'all out there, man. This is the Big Boss Man Roundtable. You know, me and Wood usually rock on Saturday nights for about 30 or 40 minutes. We got a lot to talk about. We have so much content that I don't know if we'll be able to get to it all in our usual window. But just as an aside, Obi Toppin, former Knick, has 5 points and 4 rebounds in 12 minutes of play. And no, Obi didn't start, but he played starter minutes in the first half. So
he had a nice contact finish over Hartenstein too.
Yeah, around Randall, he pumped fake Randall out of the.
Yeah.
But clearly, Randall is motivated. Randall's going to go for. I could see Randall and Brunson both going for 30 in this game. Both of them have something to prove
They
in
do.
this game.
Yeah, they do.
So and then the RJ trade. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
But you remember, I told you on the phone. I wasn't even checking my phone because I didn't think that they were going to do anything. Just being honest.
Me.
And my brother, the Heat fan, is the one that called me and told me about the trade. And I'm like, wait. I'm like, they got who? They traded who? They traded what? So I think that the way they structured this trade, bro, something else is coming. Like it's no doubt in my mind because they added an all NBA defender who fluctuates between good to elite as far as knocking down the open shot, and his bag is increasing a little bit. You see the handles a little bit tighter. He's incorporating some different things into his game. So they got that, and they didn't have to touch any of the gazillion draft picks that they have. So and correct me if I'm wrong, they can now exceed the cap to sign OG, right?
If his bird rights came along in the thing, I think so because I think OG has only played for one team.
Right,
And
only played for the Raptors.
And I think you have to have 3 continuous years with one team in order to have bird rights. And so
that's my understanding.
Yeah, and so it and I'm assuming that I'm just gonna say this. I think they do, but I'm also not gonna assume that another trade is imminent, and it's because we have Tom Thibodeau, and Tom Thibodeau is the most regimented coach you've ever seen. If you remember when we traded for Denzel Valentine, he was like, I got too much stuff. I got too much stuff going on. Yeah, and if you remember when he got Cam Reddish, everybody wants to start.
You know what? I'll tell you this. I have never used the term rigidity until Tom Thibodeau became the coach of the Knicks because it's just hard to understand that. Like, dude is so married to his rotations, bro. I'm like, no wonder he don't have a wife. He married to his rotations. He married to his philosophies and his system. Now, to give him a little bit of credit, he has expanded his offense a little bit after spending that year, that 2018, 2019 year studying and spending time with the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
So he has changed a little bit,
he
but
used the 3-pointer now. He loves
he values, especially the corner 3-point shot. Like he one guy's posted in that corner, But he's just like the decision to play Randall at the 5, yesterday.
Yeah.
People have been asking for that, bro, for 4 years.
Yeah.
For 4 years.
Yeah.
And he's refused to do it. Like, I just don't understand. Like I'm like, Tibbs, you would rather play Hardenstein and Jericho Sims together than play small and match the team. Like, bruh, it just don't make sense. It just never made sense.
Yeah.
So I've always had questions about it, man.
And we got Randall at the 5 last night, and it looked bad.
Yeah, it looked bad.
Yeah, and it looked bad because you can't have Randall at the 5 and RJ Barrett as your 4 as a weak side shot blocker, rim protector.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so all these Knicks fans ask for a lot of stuff, bro. But in basketball, just throwing out offensive lineups don't make sense all the time. Everything can't be centered around offense. You know what I'm saying? You got to take into account defense, transition defense. Can you trap out of it? Can you rebound? Can you protect the rim? If say for instance, when you pull Randall away from the basket, you telling me you're gonna guard the basket with Josh Hart and RJ Barrett? Nah,
It can't work.
nah, nah. So in theory, Knicks fans got what they wanted. But man, this is still, bro. I still feel like this conversation is gonna this trade. I think we're gonna talk about this trade for the next 10 years, bro.
Well, that's why it's important for Leon to speak, right? This is not the time to hide in the shadows, bro.
Right,
Because you need to speak and let people know what your train of thought was with this trade. I can only guess.
right,
I can only guess that, you know, what you would tell us is, we had contract discussions with Emmanuel this summer. Things didn't move in the direction that we thought we should go in. Um, RJ had some rough games here and there. So we decided to move Emmanuel to a team where he could start, play, get more minutes, and, earn the contract that he desires. And we also thought it would be nice for RJ to go back home to a team where he has the opportunity to play and start and lead that franchise. That's what I would expect you to say. But I don't know because you don't talk. But see, the result of that is, like you said, is asking, okay, like they got to say something. They did the press release, they did the 2 paragraphs, you know, but now when you make a trade of this magnitude, which is basically I'm taking the top 2 young players on my roster and I'm trading them for a veteran player that I got to pay this summer, right?
right.
You got to say something about that. You know what I'm saying? You need to have a press conference when you make moves of that magnitude. Put these guys in front of the media. OG, why did you want to come to New York?
Yeah,
Precious, you went to high school, you grew up in the Bronx. How does it feel to play at home in New York?
right,
Malachi, you were in a position where you were out of the rotation. Now you're here. It's likely you're going to be the second point guard and the first point guard off the bench. How do
right,
you feel like that's why we have so many questions about Leon Rose tenure is that they never speak.
right,
They never speak, which is why the NFL will always be my favorite sport.
right.
They speak to the media. They talk to you in the preseason. They talk to you during the bye week. They talk to you after the season. And they also talk to fans during the season. You think Ryan Poles in Chicago could get by this year without talking to the fans?
Mm-mm.
What about Joe Shane in New York? What about Joe Douglas in New York? And it's not uncommon in the NBA because you see Sam Presti, you see Rob Pelinka, you see these guys talking to the media, you see Masai Ujiri talk. Leon Rose just doesn't do it. So we have fans bickering back and forth all year long, saying, "Nah, they waiting to do this. Nah, they think we're ready to contend for a championship. Nah, they still building through the draft." Like at that point, we can only judge you by your actions. And their action said, "We done drafting." That's what the action said. We are done drafting.
Right.
This action says, "All right, we need a win now wing player.
Yeah.
We ready. We getting ready to go for it." So I can't guarantee another trade is coming. Again, I'm just guessing because that's all I can do. Because Leon Rose doesn't speak to the media. Now Steve Mills did, and Steve Mills' mouth got him in trouble because
Steve
Steve Mills
Mills,
told him
he
what
was
he was
awkward.
doing.
Steve
And he
Mills was
was.
he was awkward, bro. He was smart. Steve Mills may be the most intelligent team president we ever had, right? He may be the most intelligent, right? And I'm talking about in terms of IQ. That man is brilliant, right? But when it comes to basketball related stuff, I don't know if he's the guy.
I think his downfall. He had Scott Perry, but he did not nail the coaching hire. You know what I'm saying? Like if he would have got a Ime Udoka instead of a David Fizdale, we'd be having a whole different conversation.
But
But
Fizdale was the hottest name at the time, man.
he was.
Yeah.
But the thing about Fizz, and we'll be honest, I was not in favor of firing Fizz 30 games into the season.
In season, yeah.
I wasn't because I said, okay, we're 4-18. Fizdale, whether you like it or not, he has us in a beeline for a top 3 pick in a draft that has James Wiseman, LaMelo Ball, and Anthony Edwards. Now, Wiseman hadn't panned out, but LaMelo has. Anthony Edwards looks like he got next in the NBA. So we would have had one of those players. But here's the thing about Steve Mills. We always knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Now he talked a little bit too much. He went on Stephen A. show and said, "We feel good about getting somebody." But the part that got me was when they printed out the coupon books for the season ticket holders. They had that picture of Kevin Durant on there.
Yeah, I remember that.
That summer where everybody knew we were tanking for Zion and everybody knew it. They telegraphed it. Our signings were Noah Vonleh, Mario Hezonja. Who am I missing? Kadeem Allen was on the roster.
Right.
Emmanuel Mudiay was on the roster.
Yeah.
Kevin Knox had a neon green light. So we knew what the team was doing.
Right.
Whether you appreciate what he did, whether you think he sucked, whether you think he was trash, whether you think they didn't give enough time, you knew what Steve Mills was doing. You knew, hey, we're not paying Kristaps Porzingis because we want to have 2 max slots.
Right.
You knew what they were doing. And in his dream world, Steve Mills said, I'm going to have Kristaps Porzingis, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and I'm going to have Zion.
Right.
That's what was going on in his mind, right? So it's like he shot his shot. Now I got him fired because the plan didn't go through.
Right.
But he shot his shot. So
I think it didn't. I think it backfired on him because he didn't have a plan B. Right. So if he had a plan B, right, like for instance, if he could have pulled off Randall and Jimmy Butler, then we'd be having a different conversation right now, today. But he put all of his eggs in one basket, and the basket had holes in it. As soon as the Knicks didn't get the number 1 pick, it was like, holy crap. Right? Because if the Knicks would have got Zion, then stars would have been like, because remember, Kevin Durant wasn't the hottest name in the NBA. The hottest name in the NBA was Zion Williamson before he was even in the NBA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which sounds like it doesn't make sense, but
you know what else, Freeze? That would have been the ultimate trade chip to make New Orleans say, okay, we know LA got good players, but we're gonna send Anthony Davis to New York because we want this Zion Williamson. So it was rough on so many different fronts, man, with that pick going the way that it did.
Yeah.
But I don't have a revisionist history of Steve Mills' tenure. It sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard to watch, man.
But it sucked before Steve Mills, though.
Yeah.
It sucked with before. So he was in a rough spot where he had to tear it down to the studs, right? And then the game back on. I didn't even know. So he had to tear it down and then rebuild it. He had to rebuild it into a championship contender on the fly, and that's impossible.
Right.
Yeah, that's impossible, bro.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not trying to have business history, but the difference between Leon Rose and Steve Mills is that you knew what Steve Mills was doing. He communicated with the fans. He told us, "Hey, we don't want to sign him to a max right now because we want to be able to sign 2 max players this summer. And once we get our 2 max players this summer, and once we get Zion Williamson, we'll go over the cap to sign him. And that's a super team overnight." That was his plan. And like you said, the problem is when that first plan fell through, there was no pivot.
No plan B. There was no fallback.
And they say hindsight is 20/20, right? But if you remember, during that season, when Jimmy Butler wanted out of Minnesota, he wanted to come to New York.
Yeah.
And when he was talking to Joe Budden, Jimmy basically said, look, if I come to New York, Kyrie is coming with me.
Yeah.
But Steve Mills said to season ticket holders when they asked him about it, trade for Jimmy Butler, said, why would I trade for somebody I can sign for free? Like Steve, it's not 2007 anymore, bro.
Yeah.
That's not if stars move, they get traded. Even if it's a signing trade, gone are the days where Donovan Mitchell sits in free agency and just listens to offers. He either getting traded or signed and traded.
Yeah,
So
these stars are trying to get their money
they want to
guaranteed
get paid.
earlier. They trying to
Yep.
get their guaranteed money earlier.
Yep.
ain't
Yep.
no, I'm gonna just play out this whack deal and then,
Nope.
didn't if you're a Knicks fan, how can you believe that when you saw Melo do it in Denver? It's the reason why
Right.
you had to trade for Melo in
Right.
the first place.
Yep.
Because if you remember the year before that, his classmates all went to different destinations,
Yep.
right? Because
Because he
because
wanted the
four
extra
years,
year.
yeah, because 3 years before that, Melo was like, "No, I want my money."
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Melo was like, "Nah, man, I want my money. I don't care about free agency. I want my money, and I want it now."
Yep.
Right? And,
And he did the
yeah,
same thing coming to New York because we know that CBA and lockout was coming. And
yeah,
Melo like, look, let me get my deal now, and we'll worry about the rest later. So yeah,
yeah,
you right about that. But that's why when people talk about signing stars and free agency, I kind of cringe because I'm like, that ain't how it work no more. Like it really doesn't work like that anymore. Like stars either get traded or they get signed and traded. Like James Harden is a prime example. Like people looking at that Philadelphia situation, like ain't no way. He still got the way he wants.
right,
Kevin
yeah,
Durant wanted Phoenix. Kevin Durant, he still got the way he wanted to go.
yeah,
But I think New York we're not getting that level of player right now. But we are getting that B level. We ain't getting that A level yet, but we getting that B level of players that are saying, I think the Knicks got something going on. And we had a B plus player in Donovan Mitchell that wanted to come, but I mean we passed. That's water under the bridge. But we are getting to that point where really good players are saying, "Hey, send me to the Knicks."
yeah, yeah. I okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but
Shout,
to your original
shout,
point, Leon need to talk to us, man. Like you can't make a trade like this and then just hide in the shadows, bro.
yeah,
You got to say something
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
what happens if you don't is you leave Thibodeau and you leave the players out front to answer questions that they ain't gonna have an answer to.
wait. They just showed a picture of Gerson Rosas, bro. Is this what we doing? Is Gerson Rosas the man?
He must be. I told you what the guy said last night. I
Yo,
told you.
is Rosas the guy
I
now?
told you. Hey, you remember the boss man on Inspector Gadget that you never saw?
That you still never saw his
Yeah,
face sitting
you
behind the
never
desk?
saw his face. You know what I'm saying? That's who Rosas is apparently. I told you what the guy said last night, man. The guy said he told Rosas after the game, "Hey, Rosas, Jerson, we need to make a trade." He
Right.
said he just looked at him, he smiled, and he smirked a little bit, and he went down the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you this too. I do think that if they didn't have such a hot start, because it would be dumb to move him now. I do think Karl Anthony Towns would have been a Knick if two things didn't happen. If Mitch didn't get injured and they didn't get off to the best start in the league. So I
Well,
mean that's kind
they
of
have a
weird.
they have a good team though.
Yeah.
They're using Cat the right way.
Yeah. He's bought into playing power forward and he's taking this game to the level that we expected him to play at. So um, I think that dream is dead because to me they'd be foolish to trade him because first of all Ant-Man gonna be like, nah, I need Rudy and Cat, don't trade him.
Yeah.
So that's there. So
But they don't really need him though. And ideally in the ideal scenario, would they really need okay, so if in my mind the perfect trade scenario was OG Anunoby and something for Karl Anthony Towns. Right. And then that way you can go out there on the floor with Cat, OG, McDaniels, and Gobert. That way you can spread the floor more, and then you could also bring Nas Reed and Slow Mo and them guys off the bench.
man, listen.
To me, that would have been
Nah,
a more modern approach instead of forcing two centers to play together.
listen, Nas Reed is a problem.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a problem. Because last year I was like, that 3-point shot kind of fluky. Nah, bro. That
yeah,
dude, he's a legitimate, like he's great value brand Rasheed Wallace right now. That's who he is. the Sam's Choice brand, Rasheed Wallace. That's who he is right now. Dude can play.
Yeah.
He can play, man. Like he can really play. So that's somebody that would have been nice to look at in free agency too. Let me ask you this, kind of off topic. I know you probably haven't watched him, but I noticed that Mikal Bridges' numbers have started to slip a little bit.
Right.
In Brooklyn. I don't know what I gotta see what they're doing, because I don't know whether that's guys like Cam Johnson and Cam Thomas taking a step forward, or if he's just regressing. I don't know. But I found that interesting. But who we got after the Pacers? We got Minnesota?
Yeah,
that's the next game.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the next game. So listen. We got Hawks
And
Fan
then
TV.
you got to
We talk Hawks TV.
yeah, man. He part of the family, bro.
He got to come up next time. You got to come up this time.
Yeah, man. He part of the crossover family. Us, we talk Mavs. We talk
Mavs. I've watched some of the We Talk Mavs content before, man. They do pretty good.
Yeah, shout out to Rel and King Kai. Shout out to Demond and the entire We Talk Hawks family. Man, I watch their content all the time. I like to get in their chat and troll. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how when your team lose a game they shouldn't have lost, and somebody come up and throw a rock in your shoe, kind of like how people do us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Shout out to them, man. So
we dealt with that for decades, bro. Not just years. It's decades at this point, because we talking about the 2000s, the 2010s, and the first piece of the 2020s, bro. Like it. I try not to give Leon Rose brownie points based on being better than the previous front offices, man, because to me, the bar is the teams like the Lakers, the Celtics, the Warriors. That's the bar. The teams that have the Buccaneers, the teams that have double-digit banners hanging for conference championship, NBA titles, MVP trophies, like that's the bar. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, but I will say this. He's, and this may sound stupid, right? He's dangerously close to being a championship contender, and he's also dangerously close from being just a play-in team. Like,
right.
I think that the way that we move the needle one way or the other is going to be increasing the roster talent, because the roster talent is either going to do one or two things. It's either going to prolong Thibodeau's career, or it's going to expose him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if they were to get another player in here, like to add a Donovan Mitchell or DeJounte Murray, and we still get knocked out in the second round, okay, now we know it's the coaching issue. Because we giving you enough talent to be right up there with the rest of the contenders in the East. If you still can't contend, now we know it's you.
Right.
So the roster is really close to that. I think it's one stud player away from that. But once we get to that point, at least we'll know. All right, it's Thibodeau.
What type player are you suggesting that one player away is who?
I'm gonna give you three names. Zach LaVine is the first name.
Okay.
Right. DeJounte Murray is the second name, and then to me, Donovan Mitchell is the third name. If you add one of those three shot creators into this roster, and you don't have to trade a Brunson, or you don't have to trade a Randall or Robinson, and you got a starting five, and just say a mock starting five of Brunson, LaVine, Anunoby, Randall, and Mitch when he comes back healthy. If you can't contend in the East with that, I'm sorry, because you got four players in the starting line. We're really five. I don't know why Mitch don't get love for all defensive team and defensive player.
I'm gonna answer that real quick, because Mitchell Robinson is not great for long enough stretches.
Yeah.
Right. Mitchell Robinson is great once every 2 weeks. If Mitch could be great for a week straight, then he would be. Think about this. There'll be games where we'll play the best team on the planet. Say the best team on the planet right now, Denver Nuggets. And I'm saying this as an example. Mitch would play against the Denver Nuggets, right? And legit get you 14 points and 21 rebounds, 7 blocks. And them 21 rebounds, 10 of them will be offensive rebounds, right? And then the
Right.
next night we'll play against the Utah Jazz, where you expect him to be 14, 21, and 7, and he'll be 5 points, 7 rebounds, and is no factor. Right? And I'm not knocking Mitch. I love Mitchell Robinson. And if Mitch, if you watching this, bro, we love you, bro. We want Mitch to be around forever. But the thing is, Mitch has to be in order to see because in order to be a star in this league and to get on lists, you have to go on a tear,
That's
right? You
true.
have to go on a tear, right? That's how you get on and stay on radars, right? Like the reason why Randall was even in consideration because Julius Randle at one point, I don't know if you remember this, but his first All-Star season, you remember this thing called the Julius Randle Revenge Tour, where Randle played against all the great power forwards in the league all in one stretch, and he was out there dominating them. Had Zion at the referee crying. Randle too physical. Remember the Giannis game where Giannis is like, yeah, man, he too physical. He pushing me around. Right, the game and the last game of that stretch was a game against the Lakers on a Saturday night that RJ Barrett hit the three to send it to overtime, and Randall manhandled Anthony Davis on his own floor. Right, but Mitch don't give you those type tears, bro.
Yeah, I remember that. Randall, he does good against, man, like especially if you want his former teams.
Yeah.
Him cooking you is a likelihood.
Yeah, but and the reason why Jalen Brunson is in the talk for being an All-Star is because Jalen Brunson went on a tear, right?
Yeah. I just looked it up. This is the first season that Mitch has actually averaged double-digit rebounds. So
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of a career milestone. But I mean I get what you're saying. Like I think Randall had at one point had like he was getting close. I think it was either last year. I don't think it was the COVID season. It was last year because I think Amari has the record for where he scored like 30 points like 9 games in a row.
Yeah.
Randall didn't break it, but I'm pretty sure he had like 6 or 7 games in a row where he had at least 30. So he came really close. But
Right.
I mean, that's fair to say. I mean, he hasn't had dominant stretches where
during that stretch,
he averages 15 and 15 over 5 games. Like so.
But again, remember during that stretch, Randall was not just 30 points. Randall was getting you like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 rebounds. And he was getting you like 7, 8, 9 assists, all of that stuff where you were like putting him in this Chris Webber type category.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think besides being able to protect the rim, there's not much else that Randall can't do on the court, bro. Like, for the most part, he can do everything else. Facilitate, can score, can rebound, can defend.
Yeah.
I mean, does he do? He has the ability to do it all. So, but I do want to make sure I answer your question. If we were to get that lineup, and I'll even say with Mitch not being out there, now Hardenstein may have to be included in the trade because of money. I had to go look at it and see. But if you have a starting 5 that includes 3 All-Stars, an All-NBA defender that has upside, like to me, that's enough. Because when you're looking at the Eastern Conference, to me, that lineup right there, it should be. I ain't saying it will be. It should be enough.
Yeah. 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 I feel you.
So that lineup should be enough. If that ain't enough, then Thibodeau got to go. You call Houston and say, "Hey, how much you want? We need Udoka over here," and get a coach that's taking the team almost to the promised land. So, I mean, That's what I would like to happen. I would like Leon Rose to amass a level of talent to where there's no question that it's the coach.
How do you feel about Monty Williams?
Say that again.
How do you feel about Monty Williams?
Turn my volume up. Hold on.
Evan Fournier just dunked. Oh, he tried. He stepped. Man, Evan Fournier. Evan
You said
Fournier
how do I feel about who now?
Monty Williams.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I think Monty is the most genuine NBA coach in NBA history.
Okay.
Because they asked him 2 weeks ago, what made you want to leave a situation like Phoenix, and after you leave there, competing for championships, take a job that's a total rebuild in Detroit? And Monty said, it's definitely about, the people in the front office, building relationship with them. It's also about the players we got on the roster. But he said, I had 78 million reasons to consider this job.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with y'all and tell y'all that, the money was a factor.
Yeah.
So I think that bluntness, man, it will do well in New York because, New Yorkers tell you how they feel. Whether you want to know or not, they tell you how they feel. And even if a Knicks player is not from New York, bro, you get dropped into the frying pan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get covered in cold water and dropped into a hot frying pan. Bro, it's going to be a problem. So when you have a coach that's blunt like that, you understand the scenario. You understand the assignment and the situation that there ain't going to be no question. You're not going to have to wonder how I feel about you. You're not going to have to wonder if I'm situational. And that's why I say Monty openly beefing with Ayton. I mean, it's not a good thing, but to me, at least you know where he stood.
Yeah.
It wasn't no passive aggressive, oh man, you let him grab an offensive board, I'm gonna take you out. It was, look, dude, I don't think you play hard enough. I don't think you play tough enough, bro. I'm gonna bench you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you out right here in front of everybody on national TV, and I'm gonna bench you.
Right.
So I think Monty would do well, man. He was actually one of the guys that I thought we should have looked at when we hired Tibbs.
Right. Right. No doubt. No doubt. How much time you got, bro? You got a few minutes? You got a few minutes, or you want to wrap up?
Yeah, I got a few more minutes, man.
Okay. Yeah. So for everybody watching, generally when we do the Big Boss Man Roundtable, we don't generally put a link in the chat, man. It's not a joint like that, man. So it's one of them things, man. We just vibe, and me and the Big Boss Man on a Saturday night, but we will come through later on, though. After this game, we will be vibing, doing a live stream, man, where we talk about oh my God, the Knicks are falling behind to the Pacers.
Bro, they're just leaving dudes wide open for three. I don't understand this team, bro.
This is bad.
I don't understand. Like, why would Brunson do that? A pull-up three, 4 seconds into the shot.
Obi dunked and looked Randall in the face. Yeah, I feel you though.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yo, Ted is about his career about to be on life support, bro. Because it's not gonna be a good look, man. Obi and Randall battling,
man. Yeah, man. Randall is that guy though.
They battling right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Obi battling. Obi has 7 points and 6 rebounds in 16 minutes.
It's personal. I like seeing that, though.
Yeah. Not gonna lie to you, bro. Just real quick before we transition to something else, man. I think Quentin Grimes is on the clock.
Yeah.
I think
I'm gonna tell you, Freezie, I think they made their mind up about Grimes, bro. Because the worst thing that could have happened to him was Dante getting out there and doing what Dante's doing.
Yeah,
like it's over for him, bro.
He spoke. The same thing I've been saying since draft night, bro. Quentin Grimes is the hammiest of all ham sandwiches you ever seen in your life, bro.
Man, not even the deli cut ham, that
And
Oscar Mayer ham with that thick red circle around it.
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, he not over with the bacon, bro. He down there with the cheese.
Man, not even the smoked hickory ham, just
Nah,
that Oscar Mayer ham with that ring around it that tastes like rubber.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You cook it, it don't melt. You try and fry it, it don't do anything.
You talk the wax ring, the wax ring they to keep the meat,
Yeah.
keep the meat, yeah. Keep the meat fresh, yeah.
I think he's done. I think they made their mind up, bro. I think it's over for him. I mean, I hate to see it because I thought he had potential to be a mainstay in the lineup that can give you solid points and good to great defense, but it's over.
He ain't no mainstay, bro. Unless you're talking about Walmart brand something mainstay. That's about it. Yeah, that man ain't. Yeah.
Yeah, he done, bro. Yeah, Quentin Grimes is done.
Whatever the next trade, whatever the next trade is that you mentioned, I think Grimes is gonna be in it.
He in it.
Yeah,
like, he's in it. Like, because honestly, where does he fit now? Right now, if he was a combo guard that can play some point guard on the NBA level, I can see it. But Dante is playing to the level that he can be a spot starter. He can be your main guy off the bench. If you get a better player, I just don't see where Quentin Grimes fits anymore, bro. And I got to give a shout out to Tramel Brownsville because he brought up a great point. When we played OKC and Jalen Williams was working hard, he said, after that game, verbatim, he said, the gap between Jalen Williams and RJ is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he said, I think the front office has noticed that and they're going to move on. Because, and don't get me wrong, Jalen Williams was a lot of us liked him out of the draft, out of Santa Clara, saying, look, this dude might be exactly what we need on the wing.
Right.
Another miniature, he's a shorter SGA. But the fact that the talent gap between him and RJ is a mile wide, and we just paid RJ $100 million.
Yeah,
like I think he was right that the front office saw that and was like, nah, man, like something is off here. Like this dude just got to the league.
Yeah, and let me also mention, right, the mere fact that Dante DiVincenzo, who is playing off the ball, has 26 points, right, in a game against the Pacers through 3 quarters, lets me know right now that Quentin Grimes is expendable, bro.
Yeah, he's gone, bro. He's gone.
Yeah, Quentin Grimes is
like they already picked up the option on him, so I mean he's got a contract next year, but he's gone. I think at this, like, I mean they put Evan Fournier in on over him tonight, bro. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, no, he's out tonight with an illness.
He is.
Oh, yeah, he's out tonight with an
illness.
Yeah, non-COVID illness.
Yeah,
I bet you he was sick after he saw RJ and IQ get traded, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, he's gone, man. It's just, to me, I do think another trade is imminent. Now, that's not to say it'll happen before the summer. It may be at some point this summer, but they definitely seem like they're interested in making moves, man. Get these dudes on a plane. Get them back into the United States of America. Get them into New York. Get them into the film room, and have them ready. Have them ready to play on Monday. We play the team with the best record in the league, man.
Right. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think it's gonna work out for RJ though. Like, a lot of people embrace the fact that RJ wanted to come to New York over the other teams, and he didn't back down from the challenge. People will always have an appreciation for him. It just didn't work out for him. it just didn't work out. Sometimes you draft a player that just don't work out. The one thing I will say about RJ is this: when you draft a player inside the top 3, you expect it to be a player that can change your franchise. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you don't expect it to be a player that is pretty good. He can be a third option in the right situation. He can be a second option. When you try to play
Right.
third overall or in that top 3,
Right.
you're like, okay, this dude could be the man.
Right.
And if you look at the last, 10, 20 number 3 picks, it's a lot of dudes in there that you're like, okay, yeah, he the man. So
Yeah. Like LaMelo Ball.
like LaMelo, like Luka, like Tatum, even Jaylen Brown, James Harden was the 3rd pick, Bradley Beal was the 3rd pick. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of guys. Carmelo Anthony was a 3rd pick. Like, there's so many dudes in there, bro. Within that, Paul Gasol was a 3rd pick. Like, it's so many All NBA.
Yeah.
Baron Davis was a 3rd pick. Like, there's so many dudes that were picked 3rd. I think Darren Williams, was a 3rd pick. And these dudes are All NBA and All Star. So for him not to reach that level, and we in his 5th season, it's like maybe you just the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think another trade is man. And I'm kind of torn because of course I think that Donovan Mitchell would be great in New York, but I think that as far as what the team needs and what would be best for Thibodeau, I would say DeJounte Murray. Because DeJounte's 6'5", he's thin, but he's 6'5",
Athletic,
can jump out the gym,
can defend,
has already been an All NBA defender. So you know that he's been that. He's averaged dang near triple double at one point. So I mean,
he's been coached by great coaches before.
Yep. Been with Popovich. So I mean, to me, I think in terms of what this team needs, if we try to make a run like quickly, I think he would be the guy. The only question now is how many picks are you gonna give up?
Right.
Because with Emmanuel quickly off the table, you got to be creative. Like 48 money can help you kind of match that and just be done. But I mean, it's gonna be and honestly, I don't really care about the picks. LA drafting anyway. But I just care that they get something done. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, y'all happy? We still ain't contenders. Y'all just traded RJ to be the same." Hopefully, this is just the first move.
Hopefully, Precious Achua takes Taj Gibson's minutes first of all.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? Let's start right there. Can we just first of all, Precious Achua taking Taj Gibson's minutes is an upgrade, right? All right, and then adding OG Anunoby to the starting lineup is an upgrade immediately.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So you have those two things. The Malachi Flynn thing, I don't know how that's going to work. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But what I will say though is if there is another series of moves, then we shouldn't expect the Knicks to go on a tear, right? We have to at least expect to give these players time to kind of play together and develop some chemistry and things of that sort.
Yeah, I will say this though: if I'm not saying that the trade should be judged based on the immediate results, but I'm telling you, if the record begins to go south and they floating around 500, Tibbs may not make it. He might not make it. I know last year they let him kind of coach through it, but I don't know if they'll do that again a second year in a row. I don't know. They might.
Yeah, I would be all for giving Coach Tibbs some time to at least get acclimated to the new additions. I don't think it would be fair. But then at the same time, life in sports is not fair.
Yeah.
You know.
And Leon Rose, he need a contract extension. So
this might be his move.
It might be. I don't know how and I don't think it's gonna fall apart. I'm just saying, like, I don't know how you could say you parlay yourself into a contract extension. If the team doesn't immediately, show something. They definitely can't take strides to go backwards, but get these players here, man. Get them acclimated, and because I think Malachi Flynn's gonna have to play. And I think he's gonna play a lot.
Okay.
He's kind of like that 3-and-D point guard role. It's tough. I think New York fans gonna love him because the only other point guard we got is Deuce. That's it. So the question you have to ask if you're Tom Thibodeau is, do I want to play Malachi Flynn or do I want to play Deuce?
Yeah.
You have no other option.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to talk about, bro. It's a lot of stuff to break down, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna start brainstorming, man.
No, I got some stuff. I want to bring you into some stuff. I don't know what the schedule is going to be like going forward, but I got some stuff that I want to talk to you about. And so, but I'll do that off the air so that we can prepare a little bit first.
I got
you. But yeah, man. There's a lot of stuff. Oh my God, Fournier, it's Fournier and Taj Gibson, bro. I've already seen enough, bro. I've already seen enough. So, but yeah, man. What else you got for us? Cause I know we had like an hour. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll put it this way. At least we get a chance to kind of look over the fence just a little bit to see what they're planning to do, right?
Yeah.
So it's obvious that they listen to fan frustrations, and Leon Rose knows what's at stake. Like the fans is like, okay, you got two dudes that's playing at an all NBA level. You got to get somebody else.
Right.
You got to get somebody else. We out here giving up 120, 130 points routinely. Our defense is falling to the 20s, I'm pretty sure, by now. Like we got to do something. Right. Because our identity is gone. So that at least tells me, even though they don't talk to the fans, they understand the frustrations of the fans and what we come to expect, of the team. So that's a good sign. I won't go as far as to give them too much credit, say it's a great sign, but that's a good sign. At least they're paying attention to that.
Right.
So hopefully, because when Boston made the trade for Porzingis this summer, everybody thought they were done, and they immediately parlayed that into something else. And I won't bring up a name that you brought up earlier, probably about a week ago, that could help this team. He's not a superstar, but could really help this team. And I'm talking about jump straight to the starting lineup and really, really help this team will be Malcolm Brogdon.
I think that deal should already be done, bro.
He could really help as far as you can plug him right there at that too. He would really help this team. Right. Like really, really, really help this team. I don't even know what kind of numbers he's doing. I just remember he was pretty solid for Boston, but they upgraded. But that's a.
I would bring him in even if I got DeJounte Murray.
Yeah.
Even if I got DeJounte Murray, I would still bring in Malcolm Brogdon as the veteran off the bench. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll definitely run the second. So I mean that's a name out there, man, that I think could really help this team.
I would do the 48 contract and some whatever motivates Portland to move them.
Yeah. I mean they were Portland would probably take a draft, one draft pick, a protected draft pick probably to give it to him. But I think that the Pistons pick ain't gonna convey. If the Dallas pick don't convey this year, something terribly wrong. Like something terribly wrong.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe for the Knicks to approach it again this year as if they have 2 first-round picks because I don't think Dallas can afford to do what they did last year
Right.
because now the NBA has already penalized them and they watch it. And they did go out and re-sign Kyrie, so they can't really afford to say, we don't want the Knicks to have this pick. They just got to hold the L on
Right.
that. So I think we can take it as we have 2 first-round picks. So, I mean, they still got some ammunition, man, to pull off another move. I was hoping and praying that Cleveland got out to a bad start. Atlanta did get out to a bad start, so that's why everyone is expecting Murray to be traded. And he did go through and remove all the Hawk stuff from his Instagram, by the way. Sometimes they don't mean nothing, but
Sometimes it don't mean nothing, bro.
sometimes dudes be trolling. But I mean,
Yeah.
they still got 11 first-round picks in the next 7 years, so
Yeah.
they still got. They don't have the young players they used to have, but they still got the picks.
Right.
They still got movable salaries, and I think that they're gearing up to do something. By the deadline, man.
Right. Yeah. 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 Man, I'm writing down topics as we speak, bro. I got this. Bro,
Yeah,
it is.
I had to look around the league. Just off the top of my head, a dude that, like I said, a dude that could really help the team that wouldn't cost an arm and a leg would be Malcolm Brogdon. I had to look at his contract. Another player they could probably pick up. I'm not saying I want him, but another player that could probably be God that can help the team would be a Marcus Smart. And
Well, I would do him or Brogdon. By the way,
yeah, not both.
I can't do
You don't
both.
want both of them, but
Yeah.
like either one of those dudes could step into this team at that 2 spot and help a lot by defending, knocking down open shots. So there's some names out there. It may not be the sexy names, superstar names that we all want to come to the Knicks, but there's still some players out there, man, that can step into this roster and really help this
Right.
team.
Right. Right. Yo, so okay. So here's my thing, right? I got one other question to ask you before we wrap, right? If the Knicks cut DeQuan Jeffries, but he was the first situational player off the bench, then what does that say about the way the roster is put together? Are they totally pivoting on the short man roster?
Yep, I think that's what it says, bro. They brought in 2'6'8" Nigerians with 7 feet plus
Hey,
wingspan.
and shout out to all my brethren. Shout out to all my
Yeah,
Nigerian
man.
brethren out there.
Nigerian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out
man.
to all my
Yeah,
Nigerian brethren, bro.
that's what they brought in, man, because they looked at it and said, hey, man, we having problems with Giannis and them boys, and we have problems with Boston. So, they got them Nigerian brothers coming in, man, to help shore up their defense. And instead of us playing 6'4" guys, we got 2'6'8" guys, with 7 feet plus wingspan. So you're going to see an immediate difference on the defensive end right away. So I think they are retooling the roster. Everybody, because I think based on height and averages, the Knicks were the second to last as far as shortest teams in the league. We weren't. I can't remember who was last. It was one team that was behind the Knicks, but they were second to last.
Right. Right.
So that's one thing that even us sitting in the peanut gallery can see needs to change. So
Yeah.
I think they're making an impact and making a change in that regard. So it's a lot of stuff that they can do to improve it further. If Dante keeps shooting like this, we may be okay from a shooting perspective. Because Brunson is still like one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. Dante has legitimately become one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. So at least in the starting 5, we'll be okay. OG is shooting always 38 to 40-something% from 3. So you got 3 good shooters in the starting 5 now.
Right.
Randall's 3-point shot is gone, but he's picked up in other areas of the game. So yeah, I think this team, I think they'll be okay. I still think as far as contention goes, they need another piece.
Yeah.
They're closer than they were yesterday with this move, but they need another piece.
Right. Right. I can see that. I can see that with your I can see what you mean. Yeah, Randall is out here looking. Randall is out here looking. You can tell this trade shook Randall. So, but anyways, man, hey, listen, man, thank you for coming on and rocking, bro. You know what I'm saying? Extended time. I feel fortunate, bro.
Man, always, man. Always. It's
Yo,
always
we
a good
gotta
time.
get you on like during the week, man. One of these weekdays, bro. We gotta do like
I
20 minutes.
gotta go back and look at the lineup of the shows again, man, because early mornings are not the best anymore because I work on Eastern time now, and a lot of times I had to be on the clock at like 6:30.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'm
I'm talking about evening times, like for like 20, 25 minutes.
yeah, I had to jump on it. I'm had to get on this week. Like I get off early though. I get off usually around 4 Eastern.
Okay.
Sometimes a little earlier than that. So I might have to start catching some of these shows in the afternoon. I try to pop up in the chat, man, show love in the chat, but it ain't nothing like being on the panel discussing with other fans, bro.
Right. No doubt. We'll figure that part out. You know, it's a new year coming up, man, and all of that. So, but thank you everybody for watching. I'm gonna sign off here because we're gonna be up all night, bro. Just about, bro. This is gonna be a crazy night right here. So I'm gonna grab something to eat, finish watching the rest of this game, and then just jump on and then we just gonna rock until we can't rock no more. So Wood, man, thank you, man, for giving us the extended time, bro. I know you're super busy.
No, all right, brother.
Yeah, man, no doubt. My man, that's my man, 50 grand right there. Thank y'all for watching. Enjoy the rest of the game. We're gonna come back in a little while and we're gonna rock until the microphones die. So we'll see y'all in a little bit, man. Again, thanks, Woodshed. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We'll see y'all in a few minutes. Peace, everybody.
Peace out.